Howdy everybody. A couple days ago I saw the mega blockbuster, certainly, The Hunger Games, and I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 7. I thought it was a solid film. I didn't think it was a great film by any means, but you know, whatever. The Hunger Games is about a futuristic dystopian America sometime between 75 and 80 years after a war. They have this ritual called the Hunger Games, where the 12 districts that America has been divided into offer up a man and a woman between the ages of 15 and 18. Is that when it was? Something like that. I think it may have been younger, maybe 10 to 18. Somewhere in there. And so they send their man and woman kids to the capital to basically battle to the death together. Against each other. I mean, not together, but against each other. And so it's the training and, the fighting, but that's in a nutshell what it's about. It comes from an immensely popular trilogy of books. I believe the trilogy will be made into films now that this one has been such a massive success. I've never read the books. I honestly, when I heard about The Hunger Game, the novel, like a couple of years ago from my little cousin, told me about this book where, kids are selected to kill each other. I thought that was pretty interesting. One, coming from my much, much younger cousin who's just a little kid, talking about kids killing each other. But I just thought it was like, it's this person who got this idea from Battle Royale, the Japanese film where a group of students are forced to kill each other. So I thought, well, okay, it's just, someone wants to make an Americanized teenage version of Battle Royale. And again, I couldn't help but see, comparisons to Battle Royale while watching this film. But I didn't know. I still don't know much about it. I kind of want to read the book now, but whatever. I thought that it may have more details, which is basically my issue with the film. Maybe I should. Okay. Stars Jennifer Lawrence, Donald Sutherland, Woody Harrelson, Amy Smart. Amy Smart, is that her name? Stanley Tucci. There's a couple young people in there that I'm not totally know their names yet. They were all did fine. The acting, all the acting is really good. In fact, the acting, I would say, is the highlight. I really liked this, what I would call a uniformity of character. It seemed like all of the teenagers were somewhat alike. They had, I'm going to try and do my best to describe this, but they had like similar traits, like for that age group. And all of the adults had, again, these similar, it's like they all kind of got together and were like, what is society like in this situation? What would the people be like? And as a group of actors, they discussed this and settled on general habits, mannerisms, and then like got all those set and then just played their own little individual notes of that character. I thought all of the adults, I gave it immediately in a word, a reptilian. Everyone had this like cold, slimy, you know, elusive personality or agenda. You know, it was just like, it was cold. Everyone was cold. Wes Bentley is also in there. And Wes Bentley, like, being, I guess he was, like, supposed to be the bad guy or the baddest. Well, no, he's really not. But, anyway, it was just, like, up to, like, everyone. It was just, like, this cold, they seemed absolutely foreign. You know, it seemed like, you know, a futuristic dystopian society. But I was really impressed about how I thought all the characters were cohesive. They all seemed to exist in the same place. And I enjoyed that. I thought that showed a lot of work and commitment. So by far, that's the highlight for me. I guess the reason I'm not giving it a higher score than a 7 would be, I never really felt like I was on a roller coaster. You know, I want, like, my big action blockbusters, science fiction movies to be, like, this is almost 2.5 hours long. You know, I really want to be manipulated. I really want to feel up and down and, again, feel like I'm on a roller coaster. Here, and I'm not meaning this to detract at all, but it, like, goes up, like, really fast, and it stays at this, you know, level of you know, high quality, but it just kind of stays there. Now, it doesn't drop, you know, it doesn't really go down at all, but it doesn't really go up, and, you know, it doesn't go down. It didn't play with me. You know, I felt, what I really felt like were, like, when the Hunger Games are going on, it's televised, you know, somehow, and, like, everyone in all of America is watching it. I felt like I was watching it. You know, I felt like I was sitting at home and being forced or whatever to watch the Hunger Games. I didn't feel like I was involved. I didn't feel like I was there. I just felt like I was an observer. So I wanted it to play with me more. I wanted it to manipulate me more, where I just felt like I was watching this, you know, again, well-made piece of action and philosophy. But, you know, it just went up and stayed there and maintained that level, which again is fine. I just wish that it just teased me more, did something. And also, I just wanted to know more. You know, this is kind of why I want to read the book, and maybe it had more detail. But I definitely wanted to know more about, you know, what did they call it? Something like the Treaty of the Traitors, something like that. I wanted to know more about the war. You know, what happened to America to make it fall apart. I just wanted to know more. I wanted details. Because you're getting a hint and a glimmer of all this stuff that happens, which entices you, which, you know, brings you in, but that's it. You know, you don't get any more than that, which is fine. I guess that is teasing me. But it's, like, frustrating, which I guess is what a tease is. It's frustrating. There's this technology, you know, I get, like, some people have, like, no technology. They're living off the land, whatever. It's, like, not Stone Age, but, you know, the olden days. And yet some people, the rich, the wealthy, they have this technology that, like, I don't even understand how it works. Like, basically, I hate giving away details, but they have this ability to, like, create matter, it would seem. Like, create matter from nothing. And, you know, I just want at least some little piece, and we don't even get to know, like, how it's done, or, like, what's doing it. It's just like they're pushing buttons, and it's a computer, and then it's like a real thing. And I just wanted to know more. I was like, well, at least give us, like, a little, you know, show us how that's happening. Something. But, I mean, again, that's kind of like, whatever, science fiction. But it just seems like I just wanted to know more. You know, I just wanted to know more. I thought it could have, you know, gone into more detail. Maybe, maybe make it even longer. Because even though it is like, you know, 2 hours and 20 minutes, it did go by pretty quick. You know, it felt like an hour and a half movie. So it was definitely, you know, well paced. I can't remember who wrote it. Gary Ross directed it. I only know Gary Ross from Seabiscuit, which was a fine film. I think it was nominated for Best Picture. Maybe Gary Ross was even nominated for Best Director, but he'll definitely be cemented, you know, into some minds after this film. Hopefully he gets the sequels. I think, you know, that would be only fair. Again, the acting for me is a highlight. I especially enjoyed Donald Sutherland. You know, Donald Sutherland recently has become this, like, in movies, has become like this, like, genial old man, like, happy-go-lucky, got a smile, you know, just a, not kindly, but a nice old man, you know, a mentor-type character. Here, he definitely has that going on, but he's got that reptilian, what I would call a reptilian sensibility, where it's just cold, and there's something behind his eyes that is not, you know, human, not recognizable. And again, I think that's shared by all of the adult characters, really, which I love. But I was so happy to see Donald Sutherland. Again, I kind of know him, like, from when I was young. I kind of thought Donald Sutherland was, like, the bad guy. I thought he was creepy. And here he's creepy again. So I enjoyed seeing creepy Donald Sutherland. And he basically ends the film. And he does it creepily. So I really enjoyed what I would call a return to form for Donald Sutherland. I hope I get to see more of his character in the future. Another thing, I thought some characters just, like, came and went. They were there to serve a specific purpose, and again, didn't do much else. I tell myself that this is perhaps a 3-film story arc, so maybe I should reserve judgment, but, you know, even if it's not, even if they never make another Hunger Games movie, which is, you know, pretty much impossible, I think they should, you know, at least wrap up more with what they do with the characters. Particularly, I'm talking about, I hope I have her name right, Amy Smart. She's one of the groomers for District 12. You know, she's there, and she definitely has, like, the most outlandish costume and makeup. And then she just kind of isn't there. You know, she, like, seriously, like, disappears halfway through the movie. You know, whatever. Stanley Tucci, great actor. Again, very good here at what he does. That just this, like, big Ryan Seacrest of the future. But again, is slimy, and you just don't even want to touch him. But again, he just does that one thing, and I was hoping to see more I was just hoping to see more. Just more of everything. More details, more of this world, more history of this world, more story of what the characters do. But I will say the story focuses is the story of Katniss Everdeen, who's played by Jennifer Lawrence. And she is truly a fleshed out character. I mean, I felt like I knew her, I rooted for her, I felt for her. But some of, like, you know, the kids you meet at the Hunger Games who are just, you know, destined to die, you, like, feel like they're wanting you to feel something for them before they die, but I never really did. Particularly, I believe her name was Rue. Her character name is Rue. Just this cute little girl. you know, the last person you would want to see in a death match. And, you know, she helps people out. You know, she's cute and shy and barely has any lines. And then she's dead. And then it's like, okay, you know, I didn't really care. You know, so it's just like I wanted more. So again, that's kind of like why I want to read the book, is maybe if I read the book, I'll get that more, and I'll be able to, you know, see the details. So anyway, I think it was a fine, you know, fine entertainment. I had a good time. I just wanted more, and I'm not saying that I left feeling unsatisfied. I definitely thought I saw a good movie, that I had a great time at the theater, but I was just like, it could have been so much more. You know, it could have been so much more. The theater, I saw this in the afternoon. The theater was about 2/3 filled, or maybe even a third filled. Kind of tough to say. But I imagine, you know, that there were some fans in there. There were some younger females. They kept on laughing a lot. You know, I didn't know if I was missing some, like, inside joke or something. But who I assumed were fans kept, like, laughing and giggling at some points. And, I mean, I felt just that I was being left out in some way. So that was kind of interesting, but just totally a personal experience. Just a, you know, a note. I don't really know what else to say about it. I think I hit all the points I wanted to. I mean, good stuff. I mean, I'd see it again, really. I definitely will watch it on video, you know, before I see the sequel. So yeah, you know, good stuff. So that's The Hunger Games. I give it a solid 7. Thank you very much.